Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So we officially live in the house. All right. Haven't done this in a minute, Mr. Tony.
It's been a
So you know
while.
what I'm
Yes, this is true.
saying.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I haven't done this live thing in a minute, so it's good to be back. How about that? Good to be back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good to be
Mm.
back. You know what I'm saying? Especially with another amazing. You know what I'm saying? Another amazing guest. I'm sure y'all from the beginning of when I started Polkadot Rabbit Podcast, the good brother Tony Drake blessed us with his knowledge on that, and then we back at it. And then if you haven't already, please go to yourbrozo.com and pick up Bicultural Living and Leaving the World of Illusions. Also, I will be officially releasing the book next month, but you can still get Embracing the Sun Cycle as a Non-Ether Being on yourbrozo.com. Check that out as well. Um, Inside my book, I talk about finance, money. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're going to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Tony. If you would please introduce yourself, tell me what you got going, and and then we'll roll into this wonderful topic tonight.
Sure. But thanks also for bringing me on. We've been kind of working with this, on and off for a while, discussing it. As you know, Zosa, been working on this project for years.
Mm-hmm.
And what's important is in terms of finance and economics,
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at it, studying it, working with it, and all the
Mm-hmm.
things that I've seen, in the financial markets, they're very
Mm-hmm.
unstable, especially the
Mm-hmm.
stock market, et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
Forex, all of it.
Yeah.
But what I've seen is this big shift happen
Mm-hmm.
because in this shift, cryptocurrencies came into the space doing things that it hadn't done in the past
Mm-hmm.
in its early years, like decentral finance, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, as you know, when the brother in December did the workshop, and
Black Magic. Mm-hmm.
he did the workshop. So I attended the workshop just to get a good idea of what he was going to present in terms of his findings,
Mm-hmm.
in the crypto space, what he was
Mm-hmm.
specialized in, what he was doing, because I
Mm-hmm.
heard him speak many times. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was blown away by the fact that he had a certain knowledge of DeFi and how he was working it.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized, okay, so decentralized finance allow you to lend your cryptocurrency for a much higher interest rate than the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The bank only give you what about 0.10 or
Mm-hmm.
0.14, less than
Mm-hmm.
like a penny.
Yeah.
They don't give you anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I started to do was I looked into DeFi deeper. In fact, Sadiq and I, we went, deeper into DeFi. And what I found was that DeFi has the equivalent of a bank in many respects. Now, let me explain that. You have the
Mm-hmm.
bank, the traditional bank, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
they have all kinds of financial instruments that they can offer, and they can get involved with all kinds of financial and economic activity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a process or a protocol called banking laws. These banking laws allow banks to get into just about everything. They can get into intellectual property. They can get into exploitation of minerals.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing that they really can't do to make money. So
Mm.
if you can make money, those banking laws allow banks to do that. Buy up other banks. Uh, in some cases, do illegal stuff. Just pay a fine. You have no idea what these banking. Just look it up. Banking laws. Well,
Mm-hmm.
DeFi, decentralized finance in the crypto space, the blockchain, lets you do some similar things. Not everything that a bank can do, but here are the most important things that it allows you to do. Number one, if you have cryptocurrencies, especially like Bitcoin, Ethereum, um, USDC, you can swap cryptocurrencies and exchange one for another. So if you
Mm-hmm.
got some Bitcoin, you can exchange all of that for USDC, which is a
Mm-hmm.
stable coin. And that
Mm-hmm.
stable coin is like a US dollar. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
change. So going back to what I was saying, with the decentralized finance, you can loan your cryptocurrency at interest rate between 5% and 7%. No bank will give you that. Not even a high yield savings account will give you that.
Mm-hmm.
You use cryptocurrencies. You cannot use Federal Reserve notes or fiat currency. You must use
Mm-hmm.
crypto. It takes you out of, all of the tax restrictions that go with
Regulations. Yeah, yeah,
investments.
yeah.
Takes you
Mm-hmm.
out of that. You're not in that world. But the
Mm-hmm.
moment you convert your crypto to fiat, you have incurred all of those
You lose it.
problems.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So you become, under that jurisdiction. So if you can lend money, check this out. Look at this formula. If you can lend your money at 5 to 7% in the DeFi space, and there are many platforms you can do that. All of them don't offer the same interest rates. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
find one that offers really good interest rates. So listen to this. So if you can lend money, get a high interest rate, borrow money, it's going to be a high interest rate, but you can offset that. You just have to choose the platform, how you're going to do it. Maybe they're offering 7%, but they might be charging 13% interest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a big deal, because if you're
Mm-hmm.
making money, you can pay that off. And, borrowed money is not taxed. So through that, you can write off any taxes you may incur, because borrowed money is not taxable. So you can lend your cryptocurrency high interest rate. You can borrow, make money, and then pay back the interest and the principal, while your money is still making money. In other words, the money that you loan still makes money. It's never touched. You're still earning interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I'm going to have to show that in the event so people understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So your principal money is still making money. So when it's time for you to pay back whatever the interest was, you can use that to pay back your loan, because you've taken money to make money,
Mm-hmm.
and you discharge your debt at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Stop right there. Does any of that
Mm-hmm.
make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. So think about this. You got $100,000. Yes. You take that
Mm-hmm.
entire $100,000, you put it in DeFi. It's giving you 7%. You know how much money you're going to make on 7%. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you're making money. You borrow against it because you don't want to have to pay, because you may be dealing with some other investments that require fiat. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you take that money, you put it into whatever project, you manage it, you pay back that principal and the interest on the loan, and your money is still safe. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
all you did was borrow against what you already had at an interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
whatever the taxes is, you pay that off, and the interest that you've earned in the DeFi with your original principal sitting there, it's
Mm-hmm.
still paying you. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
changes. So you just have to be smart,
Mm-hmm.
because big companies, they borrow against their profits, and they always say they never make a profit, so they have to
Mm-hmm.
pay hardly any taxes.
Any
That's how the
taxes,
game
yeah.
works. You just borrow
Mm-hmm.
against it. Well, DeFi
Mm-hmm.
lets you do all of that. And I say, look, if you have a strong DeFi position, you can compound it. Banks don't allow you to compound.
Mm-hmm.
You can compound in
That's
crypto.
interesting. Mm-hmm.
You can say, okay, look, I got one position, it's making me this much money. Check this out. So I'm gonna take a second position, and that's gonna make me money. And third position, and that's gonna make me money. Now, how do you compound it? You take the money from the first, you got your principal, you take the second, and all the profits that you make, you put it into the first one. And then the third one, you take the money and put it into that one. And you just run it like that,
I see
like
what you're saying.
an eight. Just keep it going.
Like a
And
domino.
yeah, man, and it grows very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that people need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And you have cryptocurrencies, different types. You have proof of work. Proof of work would be Bitcoin. You have to mine it.
Mm-hmm.
Your proof of stake, like Ethereum, they just create it, just like fiat currency.
Mm-hmm.
They just print it out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Proof of stake is like that.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the cryptocurrencies now are proof of stake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we did was this. The project that I have been working on for years was to create a powerful, portable mining system. Remember, I've talked to you about it many times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we did that. And that's in the picture. You can see that. So
Mm-hmm.
we created that, and what that does is it mines Monero. Monero is an old school cryptocurrency. It's been around for a long time, right? With Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, it's old school. It's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a privacy token, though.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, one Monero is valued at about $220 per Monero.
Mm-hmm.
So the device that we've created will produce. Let me explain it like this. And when you're mining cryptocurrencies, they have what is called difficulty rates. And these difficulty rates are based on how much are mining those tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So It really doesn't matter, how powerful your systems are. The key to it is if you are in a pool of miners or you set up your own pool. When you set up your own pool, you have total control of what you mine. But when you join a pool, someone else's pool, they determine exactly how much you're making because all of the profits is spread across all of the miners. So it makes more sense for you to have your own pool. You have to get that set up. Now, what we did is we said, okay, if we took this mining device and we made this mining device, it's a kit. It has two miners, two devices. Each one of them are 2 gigahash. And I will show you at some point what 2 gigahash will mine. And the electricity cost is very low. It's like just having a desktop computer. If you plug this into DeFi, decentralized finance, you mine your Monero, you convert that Monero into USDC or any token that you want. There are many platforms. It's called swapping. You can put more and more into that position. Your DeFi position. That's one aspect of it. But then there's other aspects to it as well. The way we designed it is so that anyone who has the device, they can also stake. Now, staking is similar to a DeFi position. Staking is when you take your tokens or you buy tokens from a platform like, let's say, HBAR. You can take HBAR and buy a certain amount of their tokens, and then they'll pay you a percentage like every week, every month, or crypto.com. They're the ones who have the crypto debit card. So they'll give you a percentage every 2 weeks or every month. Well, what we saw was, look, what if we did this? We set up the DeFi position. We take the M220, which is the device. We plug that system in. We allow those who have purchased the system to be able to sell the system as well. So when they sell it and they get their payout, which is about $300, you put that into your position. The more of the units you sell, the more you make. Every bonus is like $300. So we have a complete system that we've designed. All we're doing now is setting up the pool and the staking platform, but you can link into anybody's pool in the meantime. But these are just some of the things that we'll be talking. Because the way I see it now is as long as you have your laptop, your cell phone, your crypto debit card, and the M220, and your passport, you're free. That's the way I see it.
I see. Well, I want to back up a little bit because that's a lot of information, But I'm going to back up because if anybody's been aware of being watching the news, you see that Trump has been very crypto friendly. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as he came on board, a little bit before that, but when he got elected, it's like, and they had they had a whole show, like a whole event, like a crypto event or something like that.
Yeah, like recently.
Could you kind of go into reason why like somebody like Trump would be so crypto friendly and happy, and like just kind of tell the people why first off you just start getting into crypto. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're saying your last remark was, did Trump just start getting into crypto?
No. I'm saying, tell the people, like the people that's watching, why, if they're not in crypto now, why they should get into crypto. It's kind of like a two-part question, but maybe you want to start like with the reason why Trump is doing it, because that would probably make sense to kind of be a segue into why you should get into it, or anybody watching should get into it. Because he's in office, and if he's pushing
he's doing
a
lot of radical stuff, though.
Yeah,
a lot of radical stuff,
to say the least. Just radical and also not stable. You know what I'm saying? It's a very
it's like he's got a vendetta or something.
Yeah.
From the last time he was in, and they were constantly was attacking his administration.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. From the stuff I've seen, I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause they were coming at him, like
they were
coming at him hard, man.
They were.
Trying to lock him up, and then me personally, you know what I'm saying? That election seemed like it was kind of not too much up on par. So, but that's a whole different conversation. But
it is.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about why you even want to get into crypto. I mean, the man in office is like, he's like crypto friendly. So why are you going to get into crypto now? What's a good
That's a
reason?
loaded question too, but it's a
Hmm.
good question. It's loaded, so
Yeah, yeah.
let me hit those points. So number
Hmm.
one, his sons were always into crypto. And then of course you know that he came out with a crypto token. Trump came out with a token. And it was like it went all the way up to like billions and billions of dollars, right
Hmm.
after he was elected.
Yep, I
He put
remember
out a
that.
crypto token. And it like
Hmm.
it tore up the internet, you
Hmm.
know.
I
But what
remember.
he actually did was when he put that token out, because his sons had been telling him, yeah, pops, you need to get on this crypto thing, et cetera, et
Hmm.
cetera. And then he started bringing in the pros and some of the developers, of these forms, and
Hmm.
these digital assets that had, functionality, had use cases, they started, coming in and giving him the details of what their technology does. So his sons
Hmm.
were always into it. Now, what Trump realizes when he put out his token, it wasn't for the public. He put out those tokens so all of the people around him, his inner circle, could make money,
Hmm.
and all
Yeah,
of them
exactly.
made money. And then the token went down, you know. And then his
Hmm.
wife came out with a token.
Hmm.
And then one of his sons came out with a token. Oh, they made a
Hmm.
lot of money, man.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they took advantage of it. I think it was
Hmm.
abused, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but here's the deal. So you have Trump saying that they're going to have these reserve tokens, and
Hmm.
these tokens are going to be a part of the national strategic
Yeah.
cryptocurrency,
Hmm.
position.
Hmm.
Well, it's a little deeper than that,
Mm.
and I'm saying that because you have a company, let's say like XRP.
Hmm.
So XRP is like working directly with Trump, and they have made a huge amount of the XRP tokens and technology available to the U.S. Treasury. And in doing so, what they've allowed them to do was basically control XRP. And what they're looking at is how can they take XRP, revalue it. Right now, it's about $2.20. Since they control it, they can't do this with the dollar, but see, with a cryptocurrency, a digital asset, you can do this. They're going to revalue it. Let's say right now it's $2.20. What if they revalue it to $100 each? 300,
Yeah.
400, 500, 600. That
Hmm.
means their reserves will be like I think the US debt now is like 36 trillion, something like that, almost
Hmm.
37 trillion.
Hmm.
They could revalue XRP at, let's say 1,000 to whatever they want,
Yeah.
and give the Treasury about 100, 200 trillion to be
I
able
see.
to use.
I
That
see
way
what
they
you're
can pay off the debt and
saying.
then have money to do all of the other development. That means
Because it's
much
all
of the
fiat.
world, so think about that strategy. Now you have these
Hmm.
other tokens. You have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an excellent store for
Hmm.
you, but there's no real use cases for it. It was the first
Hmm. Hmm.
real use cases. But then you have
Hmm.
other ones like HBAR, XDC that actually have practical uses,
Yeah, exactly.
for either credit card transactions, international trade transactions. I mean, the speed is like unbelievable, like in
Yeah.
seconds. With
Yeah.
Bitcoin, you know what you got to go through. You do a
Hmm.
transaction, the developers want you to pay them more money so that they can put your transaction through. That's a hustle,
Hmm.
and it takes a long time for it to happen. So when you look at other tokens that have use cases, they really have use cases.
Hmm.
So think about that strategy. And not only that, I'm saying I believe people need to get into crypto because it is something that's not necessarily being talked about, the details, the insiders and what they're
Hmm.
doing.
Hmm.
So let me give an example. Let's say if you had 1,000 XRP right now,
Hmm.
and,
Hmm.
and now that's for your children's inheritance, right? Now you'll
Hmm.
be able to use it, but I'm saying if they revalue XRP at, let's say, 100, 200, 300, whatever they do. And
Hmm.
I'm saying the valuation will take place this year, probably in the next
Hmm.
few months. But I
Hmm.
don't know what that price point will be. But they're going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
value it up. You have it now, and it's at $2. And let's say go to 100, 200, 300, 400. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
take all of that
exactly.
and you put that into a DeFi position. You convert that to USDC and put that
Hmm.
in a DeFi position. You got 1,000, it goes up, let's say $150, $200 each, whatever it is. You put that
Hmm.
in a DeFi position, giving you between 5% and 7%. You can live off that. You
Yeah.
finish now. It's over.
It's a
No
wrap.
more
Yeah.
jobs. and
Mm-hmm.
you can borrow against it, make more money. I mean, the
Especially if
possibilities
you,
are endless.
especially if you're not in America in an American matrix, you
Oh,
know what I'm saying? Like
now
you
you,
said
now you,
earlier, you sitting there in Costa Rica somewhere just pushing buttons and you're converting that
hmm
money over. Oh man, come
That's why I
on,
say
man,
all you
it's
need
a
is your
wrap.
laptop, your
Yep.
cell phone, your M220, and your passport. You're good. You're
Mm-hmm.
free. Now,
Yeah.
let me go into that. Let's
Mm-hmm.
let's let's look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, $1 is 1,500 Nigerian naira.
Mm-hmm.
1,500 naira is $1.
Mm-hmm.
$1 is 129 Kenya shillings.
Mm-hmm.
$1 is 16 Ghana CDs. I can go through the list. $1, 6 Brazilian real. I can just
Mm-hmm.
go through the list. The US dollar is basically over most currencies. So
Mm-hmm.
think about, okay, let's say Malaysia. I think Malaysia is
Mm-hmm.
about like 25, something like that, $1.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the rent. Look at some of the beautiful condos and upscale places you can get
Exactly.
like $4, $5, $6, $700, and you living like you're
Mm-hmm.
rich.
Yeah.
Because truth is six figures in those countries, you are a millionaire. You're a millionaire.
Uh, and that's a very good point, man. I'm so happy you're touching on this because being, somebody just like you that's traveled all
Mm-hmm,
over Africa, all over the world,
mm-hmm,
I'm going to tell y'all, I've told y'all before numerous times in this podcast, get your passport when you can, ASAP, and
mm-hmm.
go out and see this world. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like Tony was saying, this is a trap, man. This American thing is a trap. It's a
Of course.
matrix, it's a trap to the highest on the highest level of the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
Everything they got you stuck in mortgages and all this stuff, you know, it's literally a matrix, because I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I remember I was
mm-hmm,
over in Panama when Tony,
mm-hmm.
and I was over there with Aris Latham and we were building and I was just walking around that huge
Oh, with
um
Aris?
yeah. I was
Okay.
over there and it was interesting because I was walking around and this is in Panama and the place I was at, it was like acres and acres and acres of fruit all over the place, a fruit farm.
Mm-hmm,
And I walked around the back, right?
mm-hmm,
Because like a river kind of surrounds where he's at. I walked around
mm.
back and I saw this family, right? They probably had it was like a ranch house, maybe 3, 4 bedroom ranch house.
Okay.
They had
Yeah.
chickens running around, the kids were running around, all this, they had their cars and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they had water. Tony, they had everything they needed to survive.
Yeah,
Would
Panama has a
not,
lot of
would
water.
not, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
But what I'm certain of 98% of the headaches
mm-hmm.
that we have in America, they don't deal with. You feel me?
Yes.
And
I
that's
feel.
America. I mean, this world is a huge place, and a lot of governments don't believe the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of great places that you can live on this planet, not with the
That's right.
stress that it's giving you. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I'm gonna tell you, man, Africa's on the come up. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Big
Africa,
time.
do not sleep on
Don't
Africa,
sleep on
man.
Africa. I'm telling you.
Do not, because I'm telling you, they got all the minerals, they got
Mm-hmm.
all the resources, and people they sick and tired of getting used and abused,
And
and
they're
they
waking
starting to
up.
wake up. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
waking up. The Sahel region, Burkina
You
Faso,
Traore.
Mali,
Um,
Nigeria, and it looks like
that's right.
Ghana might be doing
Niger.
it.
Yes.
Nigeria, yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, 20, 30 from years from there, with the help of them, with that
I don't
all
think
the
it'll take that
resources
long.
they have.
I say 5 years. 5 years max. They're
Okay,
moving
shoot,
very
even better.
fast.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And because
Yep.
they got all the resources, so they can reach out to China and get stuff
hmm
built. They
But
can
they're
reach
already
out to
doing that.
yeah, they're
They're
already
already
doing
doing
it.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just have to say that everybody in conjunction and what we're talking about today,
hmm
Tony brought a good point. You know what I'm saying? That you can
hmm
do this stuff. You don't have to work on 9 to 5. You can do this stuff, make this money, and it's a wrap.
That's right.
No more. No, we have to start thinking forward. Start
hmm
working smarter, not harder. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying? Hmm.
this place, everything in this country is overpriced.
Yeah, big
Everything,
time.
like
Hmm.
grossly overpriced. You know,
It's
and
ridiculous.
and the sad part of it is it's so overpriced that all you find yourself doing is working and paying bills. You don't really have a life. In other words, I made a statement a week or so ago. I said, if you
Hmm.
take the plantation system,
Hmm.
that chattel slavery system,
Yeah.
and you can put it side by side with current day capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
the resemblance is striking. They're almost identical. The money and all of the reinforcement, the IRS, the Federal Reserve, and all of these other agencies, the overseers, the money itself
Yeah, exactly.
represents the chains.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can say with certainty, being in this environment takes everything from you. It takes
Mm-hmm.
your vitality away from you.
Yeah.
It takes your health away from you.
Mm-hmm.
It stresses you out. It
Mm-hmm.
takes your joy away from you. You don't even
Mm-hmm.
know what life is. You're just a slave,
A
a
slave,
labor,
a
a labor
battery, just like they say
organism.
in the Matrix, a battery.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all you
Yep.
do.
Yep.
Pay bills,
That's it. I know.
labor and pay bills.
And you think about it. You think about it because it's like once you start to be really conscious of where what life really is about, it's like
Hmm.
back in our ancient days, our whole life was dedicated to uplifting ourselves spiritually, literally. Just like
Right.
Shaolin monks do it today. They got their own, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They got their own thing, they do their own thing.
Yeah.
That's how
Hmm.
life used to be. But now we cut in a system in which your energy is being forced for somebody else
Yeah.
to get rich
Yep.
off you.
Exactly.
And that is not the way life is made. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Y'all gotta wake up, man, because I'm telling you, this is the day and time we really have to start really taking back our sovereignty back, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
as
And
individuals and
technology can help
mindset.
people do that.
Exactly. Exactly. 100%. You know,
And,
yep.
and and look at this. All you have to do. I asked a young woman I was, working with, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Can you live off of $6 an hour?" She said, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 I can't do that." I'm like, "You can't live off of $6 an hour?" She said, "Absolutely not."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Well, hold on, sister. When I asked you that, I never said anything about labor. I said
Mm-hmm.
nothing about a job. I said, can you live off six
Live off.
dollars an hour?" She said, "I
Yeah.
cannot."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Do you know how much $6 an hour times 24 is?" 144. 144 times 30, how much is that? She said, "That's like 4,003." I'm like, "You can't live off that?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I can live off this." I said, "Because I didn't say anything about labor. That's
Yeah.
all you saw was
That's all you
labor."
saw. Yep.
But that's about 20 cents a minute, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. 10 cents,
Mm-hmm.
15 cents, something like that, a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this was a good exercise
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to show a better example at the event. You know what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
so, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm happy you did bring up the event because I know there's not a tentative, there's a tentative date. Looks like it's gonna be late April. That's what it's looking like right now.
Hmm.
But what we'll do is we'll continue these discussions and we'll build
Right.
up to
And
and
I can show
inform the
better
people.
examples
Yeah,
during
yeah,
this
yeah,
period.
and inform, and inform the people of the specific dates in that time frame. So can I, if I can, I'm gonna pull up the actual picture of the device. You want to kind of talk
Yes.
about it? Is that all right? Let me do
Yes.
that now. Go ahead. Go ahead. There it is.
Okay. So that device, we call it the M220. And as I said before, it mines Monero. It's designed to mine Monero or XMR. And as I said right now, when I gave that example of the currencies, let me run you by that once more.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am living, let's say, let me just choose a country. I'm going to choose an African country, an Asian country, a European country, and a Caribbean country. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I'm living in Kenya. $1 is 129 Kenyan dollars. The average Kenyan make less than 1,000 US dollars, and that's in the top 10%.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 US dollars will be in the top 10% of earners in Kenya. So if Monero $220 per Monero, and the device will mine between 10 cents and 20 cents, that's about $200 a day. If it does that for you, you can live basically anywhere in the world. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say in Asia, $1 is okay. Thailand. Let's just look at Thailand. Thailand, $1 is 35 of their dollars. So if you're making $1,000, $1,500, basically you're in the top 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't get this.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the top 10%, and you don't have to put your labor up. Let the technology work for you.
Yeah.
Let that be your worker. And
Mm-hmm.
then expand it horizontally and vertically. Expand it, scale it. And then you have your peace of mind and you have your time back. Buy back your time.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy back your time. There's nothing you can do. If you're disciplined
Mm-hmm.
and there's something you want to accomplish and you have your time and you're able to take care of yourself, I'm telling you, there's nothing you have to worry about. Let me give you an example. Let's say I mine 107, because let me just say the algorithms based on the difficulty rate, you may make $120 today, but tomorrow you may make $220. It changes constantly. So it's not set. But my point is, I take my wallet, let's say I'm using my Exodus wallet or my Rabbit wallet or my MetaMask, any of those wallets. So I take what I've earned today, I take that and transfer that over to my crypto.com debit card. I can take that debit card and use it like any other Visa card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's exactly the same. You can get money,
Mm-hmm.
pay all your bills, all of that. Can you imagine having that technology inside of the crypto space and DeFi and leverage all of the tools in DeFi? I haven't talked about NFTs. I haven't talked about meme coins. I haven't talked about paired liquidity tokens. None of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But all that, you see all of those symbols, right? You see DeepSeek. DeepSeek is excellent for doing research in the crypto space. Ask it any question and be thorough. Create a really good prompt. Put that in DeepSeek. Let DeepSeek give you some answers. Then take the information you have from DeepSeek, and then further investigate it. And then what you find, come back and put it in DeepSeek again, and it will be even more thorough. You can use OpenAI and do the same thing. I like to cross the two. Then next, you can use Radium, which is a liquidity pair of tokens, which will give you more than 5, 6, or 7% on your crypto earnings. And so we're going to go through all of that, all of it. And as I said before, developing this portable system, most people say, their endeavors was like a labor of love. This was not a labor of love, brother. This was hard and was costly.
Remember you talking about it, man.
Yeah, man, this was difficult. The manufacturer, oh, that's not right. That's not right. Go back to the developer and tell them, look, these components are not. I mean, it was not a labor of love, brother. You can, I don't know, but we did.
And that's the machine that you talking about, right here,
Yep,
right?
that's it.
That far left. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm going to demonstrate it at the event. I'm going to have it at the event, demonstrate it at the event, and show everybody real time how this thing works.
Let me ask you this: Is it possible, since we're going to be doing this on a continuous basis, is it possible that we can even possibly talk about like kind of current events in the crypto field going forward?
Oh, I can tell you about
current events.
I can tell you about some current events right now.
Yeah. Let's roll with it, man. Let's
good.
Give it to the people.
Yes, sir. Well, recently, they said that the stock market lost like trillions of dollars, right?
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, what happened was this: Trump allowed that to happen because it was kind of like revenge when they attacked his son's crypto project that his son wanted to come out with, and they attacked it. And all of the things that that Biden did to the crypto space. He had the IRS and the Federal Reserve and all these other agencies all over these companies suing them and just all kind of madness. Well, now they get their revenge because you know what Trump said? He said cryptocurrency will not be taxed.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, I mean, think about that. That's you asked earlier, what is why should people get into it? What's the perfect time? If it's not taxed, that means you're free. You just have to get positioned. And I know that everybody have different capacities. Everybody can't do certain things. Some people have more access to information and financial resources, while other people have minimal, resources. But either way, you can get in this space. Like literally, like I said, XRP right now is only $2.20. HBAR is only 18 cents. All of these tokens are going to be revalued. As soon as Trump signed an executive order and put those tokens on the reserve list, they've been a lot of purchases. Bitcoin went all the way down because the big boys were selling off their Bitcoin because their stock market positions they had to pay for. So they had to pay for that. So they had to sell that Bitcoin because it was
major losses. Yeah,
they were over leveraged. So they had to sell their crypto positions to pay for those positions, those over leveraged positions. That's why the market went down. And Trump didn't try to save them. He's like, no, I'm not doing anything. So the stock market went down. They sold off their Bitcoin, and they're probably going to do it again. But that's a good thing when you see the stock market. I mean, the crypto markets go down. Precious metals went up.
Up, gold jumped, like $20 some dollars, something like that.
It should be around $3,000 right now. Very close. So the latest news is this. Because the crypto markets are down, this is perfect. Why? Now you can get in at a cheap price.
Yeah, get in.
Because it's
Low rate.
absolutely going back up. We know that. It always go back up. When you see these big falls, man, you better load up like you
Load up.
at a candy store. And so you have tokens, that are in the reserve. And some of those tokens, like I said, Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they're legacy tokens. But then you have XRP, you have HBAR, you have XDC, and many others. It's like I would say about 12, including Solana, Polkadot, Avalanche. All of these tokens are part of the reserve now. So I'm saying, when you see the markets fall like this, it's the perfect time to get in and buy up as many tokens as you can, and put that in a hard wallet, a hard cold storage wallet, meaning a device. Have you seen those devices like the Trezor?
Yeah.
Put your crypto on that. Do not leave it on an exchange. Do not leave it in a paper wallet, meaning a digital wallet. Put that into your cold storage, because you control it. You have custody of your digital assets. You do.
Yeah.
And some of the other things people want to look at is the fact that right now, Trump has told the banks that they can hold cryptocurrencies now. Do you know what that means? That means that if you got X amount of crypto or whatever it is, you can go to a car dealer or a home and buy it legally.
Buy it right there. Yep.
They cannot deny it. They have to take it because it's a part of the reserves. And the banks now, are starting to stock up on the crypto. Give it 2 more months. Everything's going to change. 2 more months. We're coming into the spring. We got March, April, May. Look for a big turnaround with everything. So you got to really get positioned now, because everything is about to change in the financial space. Everything is becoming more digital,
Yeah.
I mean, it's already digital.
It's already digital, but this is a alternate digital
That anybody
platform.
can get into. That anybody can get into.
As long
it
as
ain't
you
got
got
nothing to do with your credit score.
Exactly. That's the thing, man. That's the thing that people. That's why this shows like this is so important, because you can have any random individual that might just heard a small information about this and want to learn. They got all the resources. It ain't like it used to be back in the day when only people about the stock markets, all that they have all that insight and all that. It ain't like that no more with the internet and all that stuff like this, man. You can, as long as you do your due diligence and your research, you can be on top of the game. And that's what I say all the time. I tell people, man, like, now this is a level playing field. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many ways. It didn't used to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Now it's a level playing field in which you can just, any other person that you see that's making all this, you have the same opportunity to do it. You just have to put the time in and make it happen, just like anything else. But now it's here for you to make.
Think about this. What about if you had a team of people who are just working on that? Everybody thinks that you have to do things individually. Okay, you're struggling to pay your car note. You're struggling to pay this insurance, and everything just keeps going up and up every time you turn around. They increase and everything. What if you say, okay, to hell with that car. Get rid of it. To hell with that insurance. Now take that money and put it into your positions. Do some sacrificing, because it will pay off. Think about coming together as teams to do this. That's like other people do, and everybody's contributing to a position, and it'll be divided. But I am telling you, it's not that the Chinese, listen to this. Okay. It's not that the Chinese are smarter than any of that. There is a secret that we have lost. I went to Morehouse just to visit, just to go up there and, because I have a few friends, who have, sons who go to Morehouse. So I just went up there. And that particular day that I went up there, the actor was there. What is the guy name? Anthony something. What is his name? The guy who, the comedian, I forget his name, but he was in a movie with Eddie Murphy, Life, the chubby guy. I forget it, and he was the chef.
Okay.
I forget his name, but he was there that day. So all the students was like following him around all around the campus, and and I'm like, oh, okay, my man is here. And so I was at Morehouse and I realized something. It took me back to the ancient times when, now listen to this, in Mali, the Mali Empire, learning, like you said earlier, learning and growing and becoming your higher self was like the most prestigious thing you could do. It wasn't material things. It was like, how conscious are you? How smart are you? Are you a problem solver? You know what I'm saying? It was like, how can you, being your best, books was like valuable, not money. Books was like the wealth. Oh, I've got this book and that book, and everybody was like thrilled. You were like very popular because you had these powerful books of knowledge. That's the way Mali was, but something more. When you pursued higher levels of knowledge and education, all of the tasks and trying to survive, to live, and all of that, that was removed so that you can focus on your craft, your skill. When I was at Morehouse, I was in the cafeteria with all these young brothers, right? And I'm like, they are so fortunate. They're here learning. They don't have to worry about car notes. They ain't got to worry about bills. They ain't got to worry about insurance. They ain't got to worry about food. They ain't got to worry about electricity and utilities and this. And they don't have to worry about any of that. All they have to do is focus on why they are there and what they are there to receive. In the ancient world in Mali, that's what they did. When they saw someone who was dedicated and committed to growing and learning, they were chosen in the community. And they said, okay, we're going to put you in this environment so you can become your best. So everybody was striving to become their best. Some were, more ambitious than others, but there was a position for everyone. But all of the stress and everything that could impede you was removed. That's why the Mali Empire lasted for so long. But that's the same thing, not with just the Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire. Just go through them. Take away the stress to survive, and they'll become incredible.
Exactly. Let humans be human and do what they're were initially put here to do, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
and be sovereign, growing. You know what I'm saying? As
Mm-hmm.
individuals, as opposed to becoming, slaves. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
that's all it is. That's all it is.
Of course, that's
You know
all
what
it
I'm
is.
saying? Yeah, that's
I
all
mean,
it
that's
is.
the only way they know how to be. You know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's interesting to me. And I'm gonna talk about this more in detail, because it's like there's so many structures that we have that enslave us. We talk in the religious structure, we could talk the financial structure, we could talk the education structure, so many things, you know what I mean?
The
But at the
food.
same time, yeah, food, so many things that, that hold us down from truly being who we, truly suppressing us of truly being who we can be as the great individuals we can be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like what you're saying it's so important now, because a lot of the things that hold you down dealing with finances. And if you can alleviate that, then you could take time to cultivate yourself, as opposed to wasting all that time on nonsense.
Laboring
Labor, going to school for what? Going to school. I
to
mean,
get a
because
job.
this American way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to college, go into
Mm-hmm.
debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go work for somebody, right? Spend their energy somewhere else, right? Work your ass off for 30 something years just so you can retire and only have what, 30 years left to live.
And
You know what I'm
sometimes
saying?
less.
Yeah. What the hell kind of life is that?
That's not
You
life.
know what I'm
That's a
saying?
slave.
No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no.
That's a slave.
Yeah,
And
that's a
that's what they
slave.
have created. And
Yeah.
now think about this. You're doing all of this work and they keep increasing the prices upon everything, which makes you have to work more and harder and be threatened because you could get fired and need something. So you have to kiss a whole bunch of ass and you know what I'm saying, and work even harder. I mean, it's like you can't win.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphs, they like intersect. The more
Yeah.
you work, the higher the price of everything goes up. You can't win that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
built for you to win it.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And people, I remember watching. There was a movie. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. It was a couple of
Anthony
similar
Anderson.
movies.
I'm sorry,
Well, no,
Anthony Anderson.
Arbitrage was one.
Mm.
The Wolf of was it the Wolf of Wall Street was
Wolf
one,
of Wall Street.
and there
Yeah,
was another
those are
one.
classics.
Yeah, yeah, and the other one was it was the one when oh man, it was a young stockbroker. I can't remember the name of it. It might have. I can't
I
remember the
know
name
the
of it.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the young stockbroker and
But what was his name? I forget the actor, and his father's an actor too.
Yeah. Well, Wall Street was one of them, but there
Hmm.
was another one as well. But I just
It's
thought
like
about
three
like
of them.
how
It's three of them.
yeah, exactly. But and this in the stock market game, I just remember like just as out of nowhere, the dude just got handed $1 million check, because he was working. He was like a broker. He's like,
Hmm.
the guy's like, here, you know what I'm saying? Here's
Hmm.
your money. You know what I'm saying? And like, he didn't do no work. I mean, no hard work. He was just in the
Not
stock
not
market. That had,
physical.
yeah, and that's like that. People that work put so much energy into working harder and receiving
Hmm.
less, as opposed to working smarter and receiving more. And
Right.
this is something that you have this opportunity to that to happen, especially
Look.
if you really open minded and really understand what you're saying, like looking at it from a global mindset.
Hmm.
I was talking to my sensei today. We were talking about American politics. I told him, I was like, well, none of that stuff matters. You have to look at on an international level and beyond that. You know what I'm
That's
saying? If
right.
you really this politics, all this stuff, this crazy stuff, it's a joke. It's jokes.
Right.
It's
Yes.
like a circus. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Hmm.
real. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's a phony. It's fake. You know what I'm saying? Those people sit back there doing all this kind of crazy stuff. They making all this money in so many different ways, and they
Right.
laughing at you people because you arguing about Democrat Republican. Are you kidding? They on the same team. That stuff is WWE wrestling, and they getting paid big money.
And wait a
You
minute.
know?
Now you've heard about this USA situation, and
Yeah.
they've been like digging into and where all of this money was going. And these politicians, even though Elon is an oligarch, he said
Hmm.
something very important. He said that how
Hmm.
did all of these politicians become millionaires? We know what their
Exactly.
salaries is. Where's all
Hmm.
this money coming from? All of them
Hmm.
about basically
All of
millionaires. Some
them.
of them like
All of them.
multi-millionaires, like 100 million.
Yep.
What's
Yep. Yep.
these people? So I'm saying when they dug into US aid and they look at all of this money, $375 billion a year just going everywhere, right?
Everywhere. Hmm.
That's just part of it.
Yeah.
They told these people who worked in those departments to start shredding all of the evidence. You heard about
I
that?
saw that. I saw that. I saw
If that was
it.
anybody else,
Yeah.
the FBI, the
Hmm.
other organizations would come in and shut them down and
Oh
arrest
yeah.
all of them. But
Yep. Yep.
because it's them,
Hmm.
you dig. But let
Yeah.
me say this. Think about this for a minute. The fact that we have seen what Trump has done. If he's done nothing else, he's just pulling the wool off of all of
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff so
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
can
I
see it.
agree. I agree 100%. And I'm not
You
into politics. I'm not into Trump. Trump ain't your savior. Just so you know, I've been hearing people
know,
say that he's definitely not your savior. Believe me.
no.
You're your own savior first off. But
Hmm.
but the reality is what Trump and Elon Musk are doing. It's like showing how despicable and decrepit these people were last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
knew it. We sat
But
there
it's
and
been
watched
going
these
on for a long
policies.
time.
Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly. Now, but this type of quote unquote disclosure, which we've been having,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, right now, Am- American people haven't seen this. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
think anybody's
Right.
ever seen on this level
Nobody's no.
right
Yeah.
now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it just shows you all the stuff that you might have thought in the back of your mind, being like, man, these people are corrupt. I know this, they're just wasting money. Now you know it for a fact.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
It's
gonna
too
get
many.
worse and worse.
It's too many people in this country, and everybody is paying. Why on
Hmm.
earth is the country in debt?
Yeah.
There is a
Yeah.
there is a website called US Debt, right?
Hmm.
And it shows you every part of the government, what their expenses are and
Hmm.
what their debt levels are,
Hmm.
GDP. It shows you everything, gross national product. It shows everything,
Hmm.
US debt, and then there's another tab that shows you debt all around the world, right? And so when I looked at that, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If they're $37 trillion in debt, but they only make 29 trillion right now. They say they make 29 trillion, but they're $37 trillion in debt. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So the very people who have destroyed the country and everything in it and have all of this debt is going to teach me economics
Yeah.
and finance in school and business
Yeah.
administration.
Hmm.
How are you going to teach me
Yeah.
something that you're not
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I would ask some of the young brothers at Morehouse, I asked, so brother, what is your major? He said, oh, I'm doing engineering. I'm like, cool. I said, another brother, what's your major? He said, business at man. I'm like, business at man? Why business at man? And they give me his reason. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm talking to all these brothers. Most of them, and here's what's important. Most of these young brothers are in tech. They're in they're in STEM, science,
Mm-hmm.
technology, engineering, and
Mm-hmm.
math. The majority.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard of Robert Smith, yes?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, Robert Smith did, their graduation ceremony. He spoke at a couple
Mm-hmm.
of years back,
Mm-hmm.
right? He paid their tuitions and everything, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Look, um, Robert Smith meet with these guys every month. He have a meeting with them every month. A lot of them
Wow.
he hired. Right now, they say he's worth about 14 billion, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just saw a video yesterday. He was at Davos. You know, Davos
Mm-hmm.
is the white
Yeah,
folks
yeah,
with big
yeah.
money, right? And
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
spoke
With
there. He says he's
Charles Schwab and all them.
opening.
Schwab,
Oh yeah, all the big boys.
the emperor.
So, oh yeah. So he said that he's starting to open up businesses throughout Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's their target market now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Of
like,
course.
wow. I was wondering when was he going to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But most important is this. When I went to Morehouse, I saw all of these young brothers. And I'm telling you, they represented every phenotype you can imagine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All
Every
this time, all
phenotype.
this, every face in Africa, right?
Every phenotype. Period. Right? Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Now dig this. You know, they say black men don't go to school, black men ain't going to college, black men, most black men are in prison. Those are all lies.
Yeah.
There are more black men enrolled in college than there are in prison.
Don't get me started, bro.
Look, man, I went and I asked them, I'm like, okay, they say that black men are, a lot of them are enrolled in prison. I mean, most of them are in prison and less of them are enrolled in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, but there are more black male students at Morehouse than there are female students at Spelman.
Mm.
So how did that happen? They said, man, they lie. Everything they say about black folks is a lie. And
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, I've seen that.
everything they say about everything is a lie. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's that's another that's an that's another topic as well that I think we should talk about as well. But like this, I call it the Bizarro world. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you remember old Superman comics. Remember Superman
Of
comics with
course. I was
Bizarro?
interested.
You know,
Yeah.
but he was like the opposite of Superman. And,
Mm,
everything that you see in this world is ass backwards. So if
of
you see
course.
a black political leader locked up because they said he
Mm-hmm.
did all this crazy stuff, he's
Mm-hmm.
doing something right for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you know what I'm saying, if so many different examples, you know what I'm saying? If they're telling you something's wrong about something that you should put in your body, they say it's right,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
100% wrong. We all saw that ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, so you
Absolutely.
can't believe anything. They're the biggest liars, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about all the people on that side. I'm not even talking about race and the like. I'm just talking about whoever's a part of that system, that regime, because, just like what Kendall Lamar said, they not like us, you know what I'm saying? And you got,
Mm-hmm.
and other people say, the black devils can be the worst devils out there. So it ain't a race thing. I'm talking about
Right.
the people that are on that on that team
Right.
that's going against you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I want to do, Tony. I'm gonna if it's okay with you, I'm gonna keep this rolling, man, to keep this conversations going, keep the knowledge to the people about the about current events, about in the crypto
Mm-hmm.
world. We can keep on building on that. And then once we get more of information about the event, we'll
Mm-hmm.
talk to those people as well. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, is there anything you want to kind of end on?
Sure. I think like right now, when you look at what's going on, for instance, they say Trump fired a whole lot of people, federal workers. And I'm looking at this, and then I just read another article, I think yesterday, and it said that over 200,000 government workers' credit cards were deactivated. And I'm like, they had credit cards too, plus all the money they just stole, and they had credit cards that was being debited and paid for by the government. What the hell?
And look, and working two jobs, sitting at home working two jobs.
Oh man, look. So when I heard that, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Most of them are millionaires, and they had a credit card that the government was paying for. I've never heard anything like that before. So here's the deal. Why keep feeding this system? Why keep feeding this system? Because they're never going to be right. They can find money for everything else, but they ain't got no money for no black folks paying black folks their reparations. All of the damage that was done. They got money for everything, even the most frivolous stuff. There was one. There was one fund that they were funding on observing homosexual birds in
Oh, I saw that.
Bolivia.
Yeah. I'm a,
Just
I'm gonna end it on this. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody, and me and Tony were talking about this earlier. Everybody look up Ibrahim Traore in
mhm,
Burkina Faso.
yes.
You talking about sovereignty? You talking about doing things by yourselves? I remember one of the quotes I always remember that Dr. York told us. He said, "The helping hand you're looking for is in the arm." You know,
Mm,
so so and saying that everything you're saying, you can do anything to get yourself free, and it's not
absolutely.
that difficult.
Mm-mm,
Work smarter, not harder. And
right.
we on our episodes, we're gonna walk you right through everything. We give you as much knowledge as we can to get you there. You know what I'm saying? Just stick with us because we're gonna keep giving you the information. And once we give you the time frame of the workshop, we're gonna go into more detail there and see how you can get this more information. Also, get this wonderful product so you can take advantage of your own destiny. You know what I'm saying? You can become sovereign and free. You know what I'm saying? So besides that, we are out of there, Tony. I guess we'll talk. We'll tell the people when we're gonna communicate next with them next. And besides that, peace and love, everybody. We out of there.
All right. Peace.